Call the semi-monthly meeting of the CRMC to order. Today is Tuesday, December 29, 2020. It's approximately 6:10 p.m. And I think traditionally what we do, Brittany, we'll turn it over to you to share your screen for the rules as it relates to the Zoom meetings.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sir Chair. Welcome to the Coastal Resources Management Council virtual semi-monthly meeting, December 29th, 2020, conducted in accordance with the Executive Order 20-46, 98th Supplemental Emergency Declaration Extension of Executive Orders. If you are having problems with your computer audio, use this phone number for this meeting. It will also be posted in the Zoom chat box with the password. A note to meeting participants and attendees. Please be advised that this online meeting, including all audio, video, and names and comments visible in the chat box, are being recorded. All members of the public who wish to comment during these proceedings must correctly identify themselves before proceeding. Council members, applicants, and CRMC staff, turn video on. Do not use phone and computer audio at the same time. Raise your hand or use the raise hand button to be recognized by the chair. Identify yourself by name and use the chat box to communicate any issues with audio, video to the moderator. Members of the public, turn video off. Mute your microphone when not speaking. Use the raise hand function to be recognized by chair. Wait to be recognized by the chair and unmuted by the moderator to speak. Identify yourself by name. Those who are using the phone, press *9 to raise your hand. Use the chat box to communicate any issues with audio, video to the moderator. The question and answering feature is disabled. And back to you, Sir Chair.
All right, thank you. And for the record, I'm going to do an attendance call out. So as I call your name, just indicate that you're present for purposes of the recording and anyone that might be there. Starting with Brittany Spurlock, who is our moderator.
Here, Sir Chair.
All right, Jeff Willis, Executive Director.
Here, Mr. Chair.
James Boyd.
Here, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Lisa Turner.
Here, Mr. Chair.
And council members Mike Hudner.
Present.
Don Gomez.
Don Gomez, present.
Jerry Stahazian.
Present.
Patricia Reynolds.
Patricia Reynolds, present.
Ron Gagnon.
Ron Gagnon, present.
Joy Montanaro.
Joy Montanaro, present.
And Chair Ray Coyer is present. Also, we have our court reporter, Cindy Tangney.
Present.
And by invitation, Chief Justice Frank Williams.
Present.
All right. Anyone else? I see a phone there. Or is that you, Chief?
No, it's not. How about Tony, your counsel?
Tony's going to be a little late. Can you tell Brittany who else is here? I'm seeing on my screen is probably everyone else. I'm seeing the picture of Chief Justice Williams and then a phone.
Mr. Chair, it could be just a member of the public.
Okay. All right. At this time on our agenda is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, which is December 8th, 2020. And I know there's been some discussion. Mr. Hudner, you want to make a comment as it relates to the minutes?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. I thought the minutes did not accurately reflect the conversation that we had and the analysis that we went through in approving the the application from the Quonset Development Corp, or the Quonset interests. And I thought that I'll reiterate for the record, the chronology of the conversation was we had a discussion amongst ourselves as to whether or not to approve the dredging, the application for an assent to deep dredge the channel going into Quonset. And Don Gomez said, cited national security interests as a sufficient reason to approve this. And then I said that I agreed with him, but that we had other reasons that were right out of the Red Book that were sufficient, in my opinion, to approve this. And I thought that we should definitely put those forward in our discussion and analysis as the justification for the assent that we were going to arrive at. And then Jennifer Savenker, as chair, more or less repeated what I said in better language, but she concluded also that the national security interest was valid, but that we had other reasons right in the regulations to approve this. And then last week I saw the Eco Rhode Island news sheet, which talked about the fact that this had been approved, and they kind of made an issue out of we were approving killing seals in the interest of national security. That's not the way the conversation went. And I thought it was rather very slanted and rather underhanded of them. And I wondered if we should write a letter or something, which I know there's sort of constant dialogue back and forth with those folks. I then, when I read the minutes, which I only received today, I felt that our minutes did not accurately capture what the discussion really was at that meeting 2 weeks ago. So I would like to suggest that we defer approving the minutes today and come up with language that is more fulsome and accurate in reflecting what we actually discussed, and emphasize the fact that the unanimous decision we arrived at was derived from the interpretation of the Red Book and the compliance of the applicant for their assent.
I'm not sure if we need to vote on that, but we will, just to make it more proper. So I'd entertain a motion to table approving the minutes of the meeting December 8, 2020, so that some corrective language can be added to it.
I'd be pleased to make that motion. Mike Hudner speaking.
Mike Hudner makes a
Don Gomez will
motion.
second
Don Gomez
it.
seconds it. I'll do a roll call as it relates to tabling that. Mike Hudner,
Aye.
Don Gomez,
Aye.
Jerry Sahajian,
Aye.
Tricia Reynolds,
Aye.
Ron Gagnon,
Aye.
Joy Montanaro,
Aye.
and I too, Chair Coya, vote aye. So we will table that part. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Jeff, any subcommittee reports?
There is one subcommittee report, and Mr. Boyd will comment on that.
All right, James.
I will. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Council's Planning and Procedures Subcommittee met on Tuesday, December 2nd, to review and consider an amendment to the Red Book identified in the Rhode Island Code of Regulations at 650-RICR-20-00-1. The amendment would add a new subsection 1.3.1S, submerged renewable energy cables within state waters. Planning and Procedures Subcommittee voted to approve for rulemaking and authorize CRMC staff to file the preliminary draft amendment with the Office of Regulatory Reform. A 30-day public notice will be issued, and the council will hold a public hearing at a later date to be announced and to hear public testimony on the proposed amendment. That's the subcommittee report, Mr. Chairman, and I'm happy to answer any questions of the council.
Any questions by the council for Mr. Boyd? All right, thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any staff reports, Jeff?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I have two brief reports. As you know, we staff have been working with the Orsted South Fork Wind Farm team, as well as the Fishermen's Advisory Board, on negotiating the mitigation plan offered by Orsted for their project on Cox's Ledge. We had a stay agreement to get that mitigation negotiations accomplished by the end of January this coming. However, the negotiations are moving forward with some momentum, and we asked Orsted, who agreed to an extension or to another stay agreement through the end of March. So I just want to report that we have that stay agreement in place with Orsted to continue our negotiation meetings on the mitigation plan with the FAB. Those will continue through March. Hopefully they'll end before then, and we have it in front of you by the end of March. The second matter is an update on the cable exposure issue off of Block Island with the Block Island Wind Farm. As you know, that cable exposed itself as it was making landfall into the island, and we have worked with National Grid and Orsted to have that cable reburied. That order from the council is being followed by the Orsted team in particular, who's leading the charge. And they gave us an update just this morning that next week, weather permitting, they'll be offshore laying the conduit for the cable into the horizontal directional drills that they've already made. So we fully expect that the project, it will be done on time in the spring, about an April-May timeframe. But next week that they will have equipment offshore laying this conduit for the cable to bring into the mainland. That's it, Mr. Chairman.
All right, perfect timing. I just received a text from Tony. He's waiting to get in.
Excellent.
So if Brittany can let him in.
Can I ask a question? It's Mike Hudner. Jeff, how deep are they going to bury that?
You got me on that for exact depth, Mike, but it's several hundred, it's about a couple hundred feet below the barrier as it comes into land. It makes daylight about 3,000 feet offshore.
Or the erosive power of these underwater currents, it's amazing.
Right, and remember, the original cable was supposed to be buried 8 to 10 feet, and I think they only made 2 to 4 in a couple places, which, as you know, the currents in that area are very strong and expose that cable.
Yeah.
All set, Mike?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, and let the record reflect, legal counsel Anthony DeSisto has joined. Tony, for your edification, we've called the meeting to order. We tabled approval of the minutes. There's a couple changes proposed, and we just did subcommittee reports and staff reports. Anything you need to add before I get into the agenda?
No, just my apologies for getting late. There was an issue in one of the communities I represent. The town clerk was arrested for embezzlement.
Not a problem. For your lateness, not
Yeah.
for their action.
When it rains, it pours, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
How you feeling on behalf of all of us?
I'm fading fast, so I'll
All
do the
right.
best I can.
All right.
Tony, you sound a lot better. You sound a
getting
lot
better,
better
Your Honor.
than when we last spoken.
Absolutely.
All right. Our first matter on the agenda, or our matter on the agenda, is a request for executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Laws 4246(5), parentheses A, parentheses 2, litigation discussion on Champlin's Realty Associates versus Lamont Supreme Court appeal. And Tony, am I correct at this point for us to go into executive session? I need to entertain a motion and then do a roll call.
That's correct, yes.
Anything you need to add prior to that?
I don't.
All right. So at this time, I'd entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Chair, Jerry Sahajian, so moved.
Motion been made. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, second, Mike Hudner.
All right. Motion been made and seconded to go into executive session. I'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Hudner,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Mr. Sahajian,
Aye.
Ms. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Gagnon,
Aye.
Ms. Montanaro,
Aye.
and Chair Coyer votes aye as well. So we're now in executive session. Anyone need to be excused, Tony, that you can see is present here?
Actually, yes. Jim should go. And does Brittany, does she need to be here along with Lisa?
If I may, Mr. Chair, Brittany will still be moderator for the meeting. I will text her when we're ready to come out of executive session to bring us back in.
Okay.
I'm going to bid everyone good evening and Happy New Year, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in January.
You as
Happy
well.
New Year, Jim.
Happy New Year.
Mr. Chair, there's still that 617 number up on the screen.
Right, so we will be put into a break room, those that are going to executive session, and the meeting will still be hosted by Brittany elsewhere while we're in our own room.
Okay. So
So
we are now ready to go into, all right. So get this.
Everybody has to join.
Yep.
I'm getting an invitation to join, but I'm not supposed to go in there, right? For executive session? Right?
No,
Okay,
no.
so I'll put it on.
Britt, I'm supposed to be in that executive session.
It shows that you are in that room.
Where are the rest of them? I've been assigned to room 3. The host is inviting me to room 1.
Yeah, you should go. Can you go to room 3? That's where everybody else is. Room 3 is where everybody else is.
It won't let me in.
Mm,
Lisa, please text Ray or Tony, let them know what's going on, call them.
it shows, it's not asking you to join room 3. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah.
Brett. Do you still see that telephone number? Or are they just gone from the meeting now?
They're in it says that they're in room 1. They're not in their room. Shows that there's 3 participants in with us, which is us 3. I don't see the phone number.
Are we room 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe they just decided not to stay because of the executive session.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I don't see them on either, you know.
Tammy,
Hear you.
that was ironically, that was Max that came barging in. He had going out to eat. We're in Florida.
Do we have everyone?
Yes, we do.
All right. Yes. Now back into the main room, and first matter on the agenda at this point is I'd entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved. Mike Hudner.
Is there a second?
Second, Jerry Sage.
Reynolds, second.
All right, motion been made and seconded. Roll call vote. Mr. Hudner,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Mr. Sahajian,
Aye.
Ms. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Gagnon,
Aye.
Ms. Montanaro.
Aye.
I too, Vice Chair Coy, vote aye. I would now ask for a motion to seal the minutes of the executive session.
Hudner, so moved.
Is there a second? Mr. Gagnon seconds.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Hudner,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Mr. Sahajian,
Aye.
Ms. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Gagnon,
Aye.
Ms. Montanaro.
Aye.
I too, Vice Chair, vote aye. I would now entertain a motion to accept the memorandum of understanding as presented by Executive Director Willis and authorize the Executive Director to sign the memorandum of understanding. Do I hear
So
that
moved.
motion?
So moved. Mike Hudner.
Motion was made by Mr. Hudner. Is there a second?
Don Gomez, second.
Mr. Gomez is seconded. Motion made and seconded. I'll do a roll call. Mr. Hudner,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Mr. Sahajian,
Aye.
Ms. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Gagnon,
Aye.
Ms. Montanaro.
Aye.
I too, Vice Chair Coya, vote aye. And now entertain a motion to authorize the Executive Director to take any further action necessary with the Rhode Island Supreme Court regarding the memorandum of understanding and assent. Is that a proper explanation, Anthony?
That's correct, yes.
Okay,
So moved. Hudner.
Mr. Hudner makes that motion. Is there a second?
Don Gomez, second.
Mr. Gomez seconds it. Motion been made and seconded. I'm now roll call. Mr. Hudner,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Mr. Sahajian,
Aye.
Ms. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Gagnon,
Aye.
Ms. Montanaro.
Aye.
I too vote aye. Vice Chair Coya. Anthony, any other motions we need now that?
No, I think the only motion is to adjourn.
Don't we have a motion for wishing everybody Happy New Year? Happy and healthy?
Not on the agenda.
All right, well, a thank you to everyone for your participation.
Yes.
And I will take the liberty to wish everyone a happy new year and be safe. And again, Chief Judge Williams, I know we've thanked you, but you were an integral part of this. And again, we thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Indeed. Indeed. Very effective.
Chief Williams, thank you, Chief Williams.
Thank you.
Who wants to make a motion to adjourn? Everyone.
Yeah, okay. I'll do it. If you need
Second.
Mr. Gagnon has made a
I'll
motion.
second.
Ms. Reynolds has seconded. I'll do a quick roll call. Mr. Hudner,
Aye.
Mr. Gomez,
Aye.
Mr. Sahajian,
Aye.
Ms. Reynolds,
Aye.
Mr. Gagnon,
Aye.
Ms. Montanaro,
Aye.
and I too vote aye, and the meeting is adjourned. Joy, thank you for coming in. I know you're at work.
No problem.
Jeff,
Thank
you raised your hand. Is that a goodbye or you need to say something?
I just
We leave.
want to thank you. I want to thank you all for making the time tonight. It's very much appreciated on short notice. So thank you, and thank our staff for being available to host this. So thank you all very much.
Absolutely. And thank you.
Be safe,
Correct.
everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone.
You as
Happy
well.
New Year.
Happy and healthy.
Happy New Year.
Meeting is adjourned.
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
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 Bye now.